We're doing more Vox Machina.
No one has ever really tried to...
Wait your turn. The legend of the story of the legend. Hi, dolls. Welcome back. And if you are new, hello, my name is Jessie, and today we're going to react to the legend of the story of the legend of Vox Machina. And I am thoroughly surprised at how well the trailer reaction I did yesterday went. I mean, I was expecting a turnout, but it skyrocketed to 1,000 views in maybe like 2-3 hours. And for me, with my smaller following, that's pretty good. So I love reacting to and being involved in fandoms that actually care, that are kind to each other, that are just thrilled and so excited to teach newbies, if you will, about whatever it is that they love or they don't like, or just whatever gets them excited. I love that. I love being a part of that. And so many times it doesn't necessarily go that way. I think a lot of people feel very protective over the things that they love and they like, and that makes sense, but you want people to enjoy that as well. You want other people to enjoy that as well. So I just love how everyone was commenting like, oh, react to this and you should watch that, and oh, you're gonna love it. And it was just such a warm welcoming. So thank you to all of the Vox Machina fans out there. I really appreciate that. And so therefore I'm going to do the legend of the story of the legend of Vox Machina. I was told to start at the very beginning, a very good place to start. And I think there's 6 videos. Ironically, the 6th one was just released yesterday. So let's get into it. Let's just jump in. But before we do, don't forget to throw a like or dislike if you do or do not like what you see. But comment down below, let me know why. Subscribe if you have not yet. We do fun things here. Regularly link the bell to be notified when I upload new videos. And don't forget to check the link down in the description for my Patreon. It is $5 a month. It's only $1.25 a week. It has all of my unedited reactions of everything that I do on YouTube in addition to more. And don't forget to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at @star_chef_productions. I didn't have enough coffee today. Without further ado, this is my official reaction to the legend of the story of the legend of Vox Machina.
No one has ever really tried to adapt an RPG campaign into an animated series. So we're actually breaking new ground.
They created something that we didn't know the world needed.
Really, there's something there for everyone.
Even if you are steeped in this world, there's still a couple of moments I think we can surprise you.
All the stuff coming out is just so freaking cool.
He looks so excited.
So the story of Vox Machina takes place on Taldore, which is a continent in the world of Exandria. It is an area of smaller nations, but there is an overall sovereign, Uriel, who is kind of the leader of the area. Vox Machina are a bunch of, I can't say heroes really, but they are people that are trying to get by. And they found that it's easier to survive and succeed as a group than independently. And so out of necessity, they became a party. The series begins with a new story. This is a telling of Vox Machina as they come into their own as a group.
It's a fantasy series. It's mature. It is fun. It is about camaraderie. It is about friendship. We are going to explore all of these amazing fantasy elements that people shied away from. We embrace that. We love that stuff.
It's a completely unique thing in terms of high fantasy. There's been no high fantasy that's even remotely similar to The Legend of Vox Machina.
The love and the passion behind their eyes is amazing.
This is a show with dragons and demons and like everything in between, but ultimately it's about this group of friends.
We wanted to capture kind of the spark and the magic of when we were playing at the table, just in a different form of media.
I'm just really excited to see the really heartfelt, touching scenes. That's what got me into the stream in the first place.
This is something that is very serious and dramatic, but has moments of intense and beautiful levity and lightheartedness, and that comes from literally this was a group of friends having fun.
Yeah.
And we as the writer's room should also be a group of friends having fun. And that was the moment I was like, we got this.
Well, the writer's room was
just so
it was just a blast.
so
you know, getting to work
exciting.
with all these amazingly talented writers who are all big fans of fantasy and, RPGs.
God, the writers were all amazing, and they all brought different things to the table.
We had a mix of seasoned and new. There's young, excited energy, and then wise, laid-back energy a little bit.
There was sort of the who's who of what sort of action animation we've done have been some of the top tier people. some really great new voices that had come from science fiction and from live action. It's really been a nice mix.
We've never worked with Brandon before, so this is the first time me and him were able to collaborate on something. But he was just a great idea guy, as well as being the person who's guiding the production side.
Eugene's son, our story editor, he's been incredibly helpful along the way, really implementing all of our notes, coming in and having all kinds of great ideas.
Jen Murrow knows so much about Critical Role. She's been a fan for a while, and she
I love how they're
recall a lot
talking
of
about
things
each
and
other
the
too.
adventures
Like
and
they're
such that
so
the characters have
proud
gone through.
and in
May
awe of
Cat
each
is
other.
so much energy and so many ideas. She was fantastic in the writer's room that way. Kevin and Doc are amazing writing team that I've gotten the pleasure to work with over the years. Their dynamic as a writing team is fantastic. I'd never worked with Mark before, but he brings a wealth of experience in comics and live action TV.
We also worked with Daniel Thompson, who came from the live action
Once
world.
upon a
Brought a whole
time.
different kind of storytelling to the room.
Ashley Birch, I'd never worked with
main
before until
reactor,
Vox Machina, but she's
the show I
fantastic.
mainly
Beyond
react
just
to.
being a talented writer, she's actually played with us. She played Keg in our second campaign for a number of episodes, as well as a live show. And so I think bringing that to the table
Oh, that's cool.
made
It's a
her
live
even
show.
that much more of a powerhouse.
Everybody was, you know, soup to nuts, like really, really nice and really, really smart.
I love when the writer's room is everyone throwing out ideas and everyone's kind of building on each other, and it's kind of from all different facets, just kind of brick after brick. You can see the wall coming to fruition.
It's fascinating adapting The Legend of Vox Machina from a role-playing game campaign and trying to translate that and bring that to life in an animated series.
An adaptation need not be beat for beat. And so our job as the writers was to maintain the spirit of the story and the spirit of each character and the character arcs and what they're going through, and act as the translators from what it was into what it can be now in the animated form.
There's going to be surprises. There's going to be things that are changed. But also at the same time, we want to do that because we want the diehard fans to not just come in and know everything.
Yeah,
Like,
have
you
fun
want to
with
be
it.
surprised.
Yeah.
You want things to change just enough.
To find a way to get to a place in the story where you're giving the audience the thing they didn't know that they wanted, but they actually needed.
Yeah.
When you're dealing with a pre-existing property, like say a graphic novel, you can say, okay, we have to keep this moment. This is a pivotal moment. Maybe we can lose this. Maybe we can plus this. When you're going with a campaign where it's hundreds of hours of material, and a lot of it is brilliant. It's like, okay, now what are the things that will translate really well to anime series? What do they have not seen that we think, wow, okay, we can take this and we can really do something fantastic with it? And those are the things that really, really excite us.
Whittling down source material was an undertaking that I was terrified about because Matt has such a clear vision, and I definitely did not want to step on that.
Certain ideas have to be changed or altered as part of the adaptation. It's a hard process.
There's things we were like, oh my God, he'll kill us. And then he was like, no, that's fine. Or like, we were worrying for 3 days about this.
Matt would always sit down and say, yeah, no, this is the way it was in the campaign, but if this is better, let's talk about it. Let's litigate it. Let's investigate it. Let's rattle test it.
Sometimes the harder ideas, the ones that go against what you initially expected, make the most important changes.
Every project I've ever taken on, research is a huge part
It's
of it.
awesome
You
that
want
they're
to
so
dive
open
and get in
about
that mindset and that
changing
mentality
things.
of the world you're exploring.
Critical Role is an IP and is a legacy IP, but it's happening right now. You can interface with the creators of this thing that you love immediately.
Everyone, for the most part, were able to make it for an element of the writer's room to answer questions about their particular character, how they would react to certain elements, you know, questions that I couldn't have answered anywhere near as good as they could have.
The fact that the cast created their own characters and that Matt, as the game master, created the scenarios, and then you're in the writer's room with those people, with that cast, you get to feed off that immediacy. It's like writing a Spider-Man script in the room with Stan Lee.
It's working very hard to honor the original canon and the original content and the original game.
Nothing is getting past these guys. We're making sure that like this is very much the show that they want to make.
It's been really cool to watch it all come together, and as each thing gets approved and, you know, we see every facet of it begin to come more and more realized, you can just feel the palpable energy of excitement, not just within us, but the animation studio and everyone who's working on it on the actual production side. It's already turning into something very, very special.
We are as excited as any fan of Critical Role to see how these things turn out. There's nothing better than
Yeah,
if
it's
you love a
awesome that
property and
everybody
you see it
involved
expand
is
into a new
actual
world.
fans
it just
of
takes it in a way you
Critical
never
Role.
even could envision as a fan.
We wanted to capture kind of the spark and the magic of when we were playing at the table, just in a different form of media.
It will be like drinking a drink that you really like by a bartender you've never met before, who like adds a little something and you can't quite put your finger on what it is. It's like, did you put like nutmeg in this? And like, oh, I'm not sure, but I love this drink. Oh, it's delicious. Give me more of this drink because I like being drunk. If you like being drunk on Critical Role, then I think you'll like what this series of bartenders have done to it.
I like that comparison. Are they gonna do like a little teaser thing or? Okay. Over 88,000 Kickstarter backup. Oh my god. It's amazing. All right, so there you have it, the legend of the story of the legend of Vox Machina. And it's so ironic that I opened the video with saying how warm the fandom is, how loving everybody is, and just so excited. And that's literally all I saw in everyone's eyes while talking about this. Just this pure joy and love and excitement of, we can't wait to see this ourselves. We're building upon this thing that we've loved for so long and appreciate, admire, and they're just so excited. You can see in the way they're complimenting each other. This person does this and that person does that and they excel at this, and it makes for such a great writer's room when you are all so supportive and mesh well and open to each other's ideas and the criticisms and the control of what you have. Like this core group took something that they loved and made it something so much bigger. And now these people are taking it and they're like, yeah, here's our baby. What do you have? You know, like it's very hard to hand over something you love and just to have people change it and match it. But I love that there are so involved that if there is anything that they think might actually hurt, then they'll stop it. You know, they have creative control, but they don't seem to be like doing that. You know, they seem to be, again, like to take something you love so much, take your baby and hand it over and have people mess with it. They're not messing with it though. They're improvising it. And so it's just, I don't know, everybody seems so excited and so positive and so into what they are doing. And I can't wait to learn more about everything. I've heard of Critical Role, but I've actually never watched them before. So it reminds me of, I used to watch Harmon Quest. Harmon Quest was very, very good. Towards the end, some of the episodes were a little spotty. But if you've never seen Harmon Quest, which I'm sure if you've seen this, you have, but maybe you haven't. It's Dan Harmon, and he brings his group of friends on. They do little campaigns, and they have a special celebrity guest come on for each episode that kind of gets in the mix with them. And so it adds a hint of spice, if you will, and it keeps it interesting with whoever they bring on. And that was a really fun show. I really enjoyed watching that. So I am definitely going to try to get into some of the campaigns. That I probably won't do a reaction for because they're like 4 hours long. But I can't wait to jump into those just to see the energy that excels through these videos, because again, this core group of people really just, I love watching something that people love to do them. Like, it's not like a bunch of people got into a room and were like, we need to write this show and create something to make money. They were like, no, we're just gonna have fun and record ourselves because it's fun. And we want everybody else to have fun. And that's what I love. So I can't wait to get into the next video. That's great. Everyone throw like or dislike if you do or do not like what you see. Comment down below. Let me know. Subscribe if you've not yet. Fun thanks. I really link the bell to be notified when I upload new videos. Don't forget to check the link down in the description for my Patreon. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at @star_chef_productions. But that is it. So long, everyone. Try and make someone smile today. You never know when you might need it next. Bye.